Did everyone else make it through the war?
No.
No?
We lost, I'm not quite sure. I lost the guy that was flying my wing. We were coming back after our bombs and ammunition were done. We got separated from the other two. So there was, and he was quite a bit lower, and I was flying maybe 1,000 feet higher and about a quarter of a mile off to the side. And it was in a Hurtgen forest. And there was, as we're flying along, he said, "I see." And I looked over at where his plane was, and there was a clearing, and just then a shell hit him right in the cockpit, right where the wing joins the cockpit. And he never finished his sentence, and he went right down. He got killed. And then we lost, I'm not sure, a couple more, I think. Yeah. We lost a few men.
Mm.
I think overall, of the original group that came over, they lost about 30% or 35%, about a third of the pilots. Because you didn't often parachute, you either got shot down or... No, they set up a little theater where, even during the war, we had a rec hall set up, recreation hall. And once a week, someone would fly from our base while the war was going on over to Paris and return them a couple of reels of movies and pick up 2 new ones. So, and you didn't take a fighter plane, we took an L5, which is the light plane, single engine light plane. And it was a pretty long ride for that small plane. We had to stop somewhere to refuel. And then we'd land in Paris, and we had official orders where we could stay overnight. So we had a nice night on the town in Paris. So we had to take turns flying.
Everyone wanted that, I'm sure.
Pretty popular. Go get the film. But I went a couple of times, to different times. Yeah.
What was it like adjusting when you got back? Because it sounds like it was, a world away from everything at home. You have all these great friends there. It's actually an exciting time when you're doing something really meaningful every day.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come back and it's all over. And you won. What was that like?
Oh, you just settled in and started looking around for someone to have for a girlfriend or something. Going to dances, and there was a lot of activity when all his GIs came back.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we felt we missed out some of the home life. Well, since I built this house and I bought this land up in Savoy, I bought that land the late 50s, 1960. Because I was just married, not too long, in Southampton. And I bought that lot.
What year were you born, Uncle Ed?
Me?
Yeah.
1921.
1921.
Yeah.
So you remember the Great Depression
Oh, yes.
well.
I was right in it. My father had the store.
How did that affect him?
Well, people didn't have money. The government had a program that was the time they had the big dust storm and the trouble out in the Midwest and the West. And the food was scarce, but the government would buy food and then send it to people that were without work. And twice a week they would go to whatever town they lived in, and they would get, everybody called it the bag. Well, it was a burlap bag, and it would have farm products that the government bought. It'd maybe be a ham, some butter, some grains of different kind, and that was free. And then there was a program called the WPA, the Works Progress Administration, and they built some schools and buildings around, and I always remember they got $16 a week, and they worked 4 days a week. They didn't work 5, 4 days. And they would come into our grocery store with $16 and just about spend it all, you know. But food was very cheap. Hamburg was 19 cents a pound. And milk was cheap. But the government would act as the go-between, which is quite a good program. They would buy the dairy products from the farms because they couldn't sell it otherwise. The government bought it and in turn gave it to the people. Yeah.
And do you remember when, because you must have been like 8 or 9 when the stock market crashed, and did you notice then that were portions smaller at your plate, or did you get to go out less to movies? Or
Our plate was never small. We ate all the nice cuts of meat were in the case, and people didn't have the money to buy it. We had to take it home and eat it. We ate porterhouse steaks. We owned a grocery store. So we had food all we wanted. I don't know. If you think you like something, go ahead and do it. Don't put off, because it'll fade away and you won't do it eventually. You'll regret it sometime later. Just go right ahead and try it. I did a lot of things that I liked and I enjoyed doing.